Okay, good morning everyone. Today we are going to see demonstration of a practical. The technique what we are going to learn is dot ELISA. You know what is ELISA? Already in theory you have studied about ELISA. ELISA is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. The ELISA what we have I taught you in theory, all those techniques are quantitative method. There are two types of assay. One is known as qualitative assay, another one is quantitative assay. In the case of quantitative assay, you can determine the presence of how much amount of a particular component is there in that particular sample by quantitative assay. But here we are going to do a qualitative method wherein we are going to identify whether the sample has antigen or antibody. Okay, so in this particular technique we are going to see a technique wherein we are going to find out the presence of antigen in the serum sample. You can check the presence of antibody also in the serum sample by using this ELISA technique. Okay, so there are two types of ELISA. One is qualitative, another one is quantitative. What we are going to see today, that is a qualitative method. We are going to identify whether the sample has antigen or not. So that is what this ELISA technique. All the immunological techniques are very sensitive method, and it is very easy to find out the presence of antigen or antibody in the sample by using the immunological technique. So all these techniques are coming under the serological technique because for doing this experiment we need serum. Fine. Now today's experiment is ELISA, dot ELISA, but it is known as dot ELISA because once after doing the experiment you can see on the ELISA strip which is made on a nitrocellulose membrane. On that membrane, the ELISA strip, you can see dot. Okay, presence of dot indicates that the antigen is present in the given sample. Clear? So now I'll explain the principle behind this particular process. Before that, I will show you how exactly a dot ELISA strip looks. In this experiment, you will be using kit. This is a kit-based experiment. The kit we have procured from Aristogene company-based kit we are using. In the kit, all the necessary items are given. The components which are needed for doing the experiment are: you need an assay buffer. Okay, the assay buffer which is given here, that is a 10x assay buffer. And you know how to make a 1x assay buffer. Or if you remember the formula what we used to calculate the concentration, what you need is 1x and what you have is 10x. And if you are preparing 50 ml, you have to do this calculation and you get the value 5 ml. If you make up the volume to 50 ml by adding 45 ml of distilled water, you get 1x assay buffer. Clear? So this is how you have to prepare the 1x assay buffer. So whatever concentration you need divided by whatever concentration you have into the amount, the quantity what you need. If you do the calculation, you will get a value. That much value if you take and make up the volume to the quantity what you need, you will get 1x assay buffer of a particular quantity. Clear? So once after the preparation of 1x assay buffer, because you need 1x assay buffer in many steps, the first thing what you need to do is preparation of 1x assay buffer. That is followed by the other things which are needed for doing the ELISA experiments are: one is your antigen HRP conjugate. The first preliminary thing is your serum sample which is having the antigen what you are going to identify, and along with that there is a secondary antibody which is given. The antibody is conjugated with an enzyme HRP. HRP stands for horseradish peroxidase. Since it is horseradish peroxidase, all of you know that the substrate which is used here is TMB-H2O2. So everything is given, and all the things you need to keep it ready before doing the experiment. Fine. Now the preliminary thing is you have to prepare the 1x assay buffer. Once the 1x assay, so I have made a different series of 1x assay buffer which will be used for different purposes throughout the experiment. Okay, now you can see that in the kit they have given a strip. So this is the ELISA strip which is given along with the ELISA kit. Can you all see the strip with 3 sections are there. So in the diagram I have drawn clearly, I will explain here. But you can see, you can have a look here. This is the ELISA strip with 3 different sections are there, 1, 2 and 3. Fine. This is the ELISA strip. Now the principle behind this particular experiment is, this is the solid surface. Okay, on the solid surface antibody is immobilized. What is the solid surface? The ELISA strip what we are going to use, that is a solid surface. What is there on the solid surface? It has antibodies. Now, when you dip this ELISA strip into a sample containing antigen, if antigen is there in the sample, the antigen will bind to the antibody and it forms a complex. What is that complex called as? Immune complex, or it is also known as antigen-antibody complex. Fine. Once the antigen-antibody complex is formed, all these things will take little time period. 10 to 20 minutes of incubation time period is there. So once after the incubation time period, you have to do the washing step. Once after the washing step, you have to add an antibody which is conjugated with enzyme. Okay, so all of you remember very well, I think, in the ELISA technique, enzyme linked immunosorbent assay, we are using an antibody which is conjugated with enzyme. So here we are using a secondary antibody which is conjugated with the enzyme. So when you add, as soon as you add the secondary antibody which is conjugated with enzyme, that will bind to the antigen-antibody complex. So you can see here whatever the experiment what we are doing, it is similar to that of the sandwich ELISA technique, but it is a qualitative method, not a quantitative method. So in quantitative method, we will be using an ELISA plate. Okay, you remember the ELISA plate? I have showed you in the theory class. ELISA plate where you will be taking the sample, and once after all the reaction you get a colored product there, and you have to keep the plate in the ELISA reader to note down the reading. But here we are not doing that, we are just observing, or we are going to find out whether the antigen is present in the given sample. As soon as you add the secondary antibody, it binds to the antigen-antibody complex, and after the incubation time period, you need to add the substrate. So once this complex is formed, you cannot observe anything with your naked eye. So you have to add the substrate. Since enzyme is there, enzyme and substrate will react together and it gives a colored product. So since it is horseradish peroxidase, the kit which is given here, that has the antibody conjugated with the HRP, will be using PMDH2O2 as the substrate. Thereby you get a blue color dot on the ELISA strip. Fine. Now what is there in the ELISA? I told you already that in the ELISA strip, if you see, you can see three sections are there. Three different sections are there. 1, 2, 3. So now, what is there in these three sections? I will show you once again the ELISA strip. So when you observe when you look at this ELISA strip, you can clearly see there are three sections. The three sections which are given in the ELISA strips are: number 1, it has a negative zone. The number 1, the first section is known as the negative zone. Negative zone is followed by a positive zone. Positive zone is followed by the control zone. So these are the three different sections which are there on the ELISA strip. What are the three? One is negative zone, positive zone, control zone. Fine. Now what is there in this zones, I will be explaining now. But after doing the experiment, you can have two results, either a positive result or it will be a negative result. If it is a positive result, what do you mean by positive result? The sample what we are using, if it has an antigen, you can see two spots in the ELISA strip. Okay, so if two spots are there in the ELISA strip, that means the result is positive or the sample has antigen. If you are getting only one spot, that means it is a negative result. Clear? This is the difference between a positive result and a negative result. Positive result means you get two dots on the ELISA strip, whereas in the negative test you are going to get only one spot. Okay. Now how this one spot and two spots are formed, I will be explaining it now. Okay. Now in the case of ELISA strip, when we use the ELISA strip is immobilized with the antibody. So in the principle I told you that the ELISA strip has an antibody which is immobilized there. In the case of, this is the last zone which is known as the control zone. You can see this diagram. In the control zone, already an antigen-antibody complex is immobilized. Clear? So try to understand the concept. In the third zone, what is that zone? Control zone. Already one antigen-antibody complex is there and it is fixed to that particular region. Whereas in the second zone, that is known as the positive zone, only antibody is there. Which antibody? The antibody which is specific to the antigen what you are looking for. Okay, so here one antibody is immobilized, whereas in the control zone already it is bound with an antigen-antibody complex. Now when you dip this ELISA strip into a solution containing antigen, the sample containing antigen, it has this particular region has the antibody, the antigen will bind there and it forms a complex. Here the antigen cannot bind because already the antibody is bound with the antigen. In the second step, what are you doing in the second step? You are adding a secondary antibody antibody which is conjugated with the enzyme. When you add a secondary antibody which is conjugated with the enzyme, this secondary antibody will bind to both positive zone and to the control zone. Why? Because in the control zone already one antigen antibody complex is there, whereas here one antigen is antigen and antibody. When you dip it in the sample, antigen will bind to the antibody and forms a complex in both the places. The secondary antibody which is conjugated with the enzyme binds there. And when you do the next step, that is dipping the strip in TMDH2O2, the reaction happens within 5 to 10 minutes of time period and you get the colored spot on the ELISA strip. Whereas if the sample does not have antigen, then you will get the spot only in the control zone. Why only in the control zone? Because control zone already has an antigen antibody complex. As soon as you add secondary antibody, they bind there. Whereas here, secondary antibody cannot bind because antibody is not bound with the antigen. Thereby, if this test result is negative, this particular region will be blank and only in this region you can see a blue color spot. Fine. Now, I will show you the ELISA strip now. The ELISA strip, while handling ELISA strip, you make sure that you are using gloves and you are not supposed to touch the region which is there in the three regions which are there in the ELISA strip. So this is the ELISA strip. You can see, I will show you. I think all of you can see the three regions, 1, 2 and 3. The last one is known as the control zone which has antigen antibody complex. The second one which is immobilized with one antibody. Whereas the last one, the third region is known as the negative zone. There is, it is like a coated with an inert protein, so the reaction won't be happening. Now we will see the procedure now. When you are doing the experiment, you have to take 2 ml of 1x assay buffer, and into that 2 ml of 1x assay buffer you have to add, this is the 2 ml of 1x assay buffer. Into that you need to add the serum. Okay, the serum sample which is given in the kit that you need to add. So the first step, in the first step what are we doing? We are taking out the sample which is having the antigen, that you have to take and dip it or put it into the 2 ml of 1x assay buffer and mix it well. Now you can see here your sample is ready. This is the sample which is ready for your test. Okay, the serum sample which is mixed with the 1x assay buffer, 2 ml of 1x assay buffer. Once it is ready, you have to carefully take the ELISA strip and dip it into the solution, into the sample. Now that is the first step. So once you have to insert the, once after taking 2 ml of 1x assay buffer with 2 ml of serum sample, you need to insert the dot ELISA strip into this and leave it for 20 minutes of time period. Fine. After 20 minutes of time period, okay, I have already processed one strip for the observation. After 20 minutes of time period, what you need to do is you have to take out the ELISA strip and dip it in the 1x assay buffer. Okay, and you need to keep on doing this, so that this step is known as the washing step. Now, why are we doing the washing step? If any unbound antibodies are there, unbound antigen is there in the ELISA strip, that will be washed away by doing this particular process. What are we doing here? We are washing this strip in 2 ml of assay buffer. 2 times you have to do each time, washing step, that is for 5 minutes. So 5 minutes you have to keep on cleaning it or washing it, so that all the unbound antigens will be removed. So after 5 minutes of time period, take out the ELISA strip and dip it into another Eppendorf tube containing 2 ml of 1x assay buffer and keep on doing this for another 5 minutes. So that any unbound antigen, if it is there, that will be washed away. Now once after that particular process, what you need to do is you need to dip this strip in 2 ml of 1x assay buffer which is having an HRP conjugate. You can see here I have taken the HRP conjugate in a Eppendorf tube. You have to dip this ELISA strip into the HRP conjugated strip. Okay, 2 microliter of HRP conjugated antibody. Into that you need to dip this strip and leave it for 20 minutes of time period. So what is the reaction happening here? Already the antibody is bound with the antigen, and when you are adding an antibody which is conjugated with HRP. What is HRP? Horseradish peroxidase. those antibody will bind to the antigen-antibody complex. Fine. Now, what is that complex which will be formed on this membrane? If the antigen is there in the sample, you will get a complex like antibody which is bound to the ELISA strip that is already bound to an antigen. On top of that, your antibody which is conjugated with the HRP will bind and forms a complex. Antibody, antigen and secondary antibody complex. So after 20 minutes of time period, what you need to do is you need to take out the ELISA strip and wash the strip in assay buffer. The same washing step you need to follow. Whatever washing step you have done after the first step, the same washing step. In an Eppendorf tube, you take 2 ml of 1x assay buffer and wash it. How much time you need to keep it? 5 minutes of time period. You have to keep it and wash it. So after 5 minutes of time period, take out another Eppendorf tube and dip the strip and wash it. Now, this is the last step of washing. After washing, what you need to do is you have to take 1.3 ml of TMB-H2O2. What is TMB-H2O2? Tetramethyl benzoate hydrogen peroxide. That is the substrate which is used for the horseradish peroxidase. So you need to take that substrate and dip the strip in the substrate for 5 to 10 minutes of time period. Okay. So you have to leave it for 5 to 10 minutes of time period, and after 10 minutes of time period, when you observe, you can see the result. So we will observe the strip after 5 to 10 minutes of time period. So now I will show you the result of ELISA. You can see this ELISA strip. Can you all see the ELISA strip? There are 2 strips. This can you see 2 dots are there? 2 dots indicates the presence of antigen in the sample. So this is the negative result. This is for the positive result, positive sample. You will get a result like this, wherein you will get 2 spots in the ELISA strip. This is the result of the negative sample. In the negative sample, you can see only 1 spot. 1 spot indicates that you have done the experiment properly, all the steps are followed properly, because you are getting a spot in the last region. What is that last region? Last region is the control zone, which has the antigen antibody complex. Whereas there is no blue color spot in the second region, that is the positive zone. Okay, so that indicates that sample does not have any antigen. Clear? So I will explain it once again. In the case of dot ELISA technique is a qualitative method of identification, or it is a immunological method or a serological method which is used to identify the presence of antigen in the sample. For this purpose, we will be using an ELISA strip. Okay, this is the ELISA strip which has 3 regions are there. What are the 3 regions? Negative zone, positive zone and the control zone. Now, when you are doing the experiment, after setting up the entire things, what is required for the experiment, what all things are required for the experiment? You need micropipette, you need Eppendorf tubes, and the reagents which are needed are assay of a serum sample, TMB-H2O2 and antibody which is conjugated with the HRP, which is called as the secondary antibody. So now the ELISA strip, it has 3 sections, 3 regions are there. The first region is completely covered with an inert protein. Second region, it has an antibody which is immobilized, and the third region, which is called as the control zone, which has an antigen antibody complex which is immobilized there. The purpose of having this particular region is to check whether you have done the experiment properly. Now, since if the sample what you are taking, if it has the antigen, when you dip this strip into the sample, the antigen will bind to the antibody and it forms a complex called as antigen antibody complex. And after the washing step, when you dip it into another solution containing secondary antibody which is conjugated with the HRP, it forms a complex, and to visualize this particular complex formation, you have to add the substrate. Why? Because we are using an enzyme labeled antibody. Reaction happens and there will be formation of a product. The product which is formed here is TMB oxide. So all of you know the principle behind this particular reaction. TMB-H2O2 reacts with HRP. HRP first reacts with hydrogen peroxide and it forms it releases water and nascent oxygen. Nascent oxygen reacts with TMB and it forms the TMB oxide. So because of the formation of TMB oxide, you can see a blue color spot in the positive zone because the antigen has bound to the antibody, and in the control zone also you can see a blue color spot because the control zone has antigen antibody complex. Whereas in the negative result, see, if the sample is not having the antigen, then you cannot see a blue color spot in the positive zone. You can see the spot only in the control zone. Okay, so dot ELISA is a very quick method to identify the presence of antigen in any serological sample.